Hi there, I'm Neil Robinson from Storth Machinery, and we're here at Campbelltown today to talk to you a little bit about our Storth Aerobac system. So basically a system for aerating slurry and mixing slurry. Okay, our plan of attack really today is to tell you about the benefits of mixing slurry using an aeration system, the general hardware that we're using to do that, and then I'm going to jump inside in a little bit and get out the wind to talk to you about the actual diffusers and what's special about our system. What are the benefits of using an aeration system over our traditional mixers? Well, the first thing is it's automatic, so this system is going to run twice a day, basically every day of the year, and it will then give you a product inside that's ready to mix 24/7, 365 days a year. There's no thought process has to go into getting a tractor mounted up to run the thing, to then spend half a day to a day mixing it to give you that mix. It's there whenever you want it at that moment in time when the weather suits and the field conditions suit. That's the first benefit. If it's used from the start and continuously, there's no build-up of crust at all, so it'll be much quicker and a much better homogeneous mix. In terms of setting up and installation inside, once it's set up, it's very, very simple, so you've got no propellers and bits and pieces to maintain, so it's a really, really simple system. We've got the control panel here. This one's floor mounted in a galvanized frame. If you want to, we can have it wall mounted. It depends on each farm situation, and our Storth sales team can help advise you on that. So 3-phase with this one, we can do a single phase unit if that's what you know, 3-phase. And basically the control panel allows us to automate the system. So it will basically send a signal through to the motors. So here we have a double motor system with twin compressors. You can have a single motor system with one compressor, two compressors, or I'd say this is a twin system, each operating a compressor each side. These are 1.5 kilowatt on each, and basically they're generating that compressed air which is feeding through the 16mm bore pipe to the manifolds. On this system we've got 4 manifolds, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're obviously feeding our diffusers inside. So basically, and I'll just take the cover off, so again fully galvanized cover. So the compressor is feeding this bank here, and we have 6 solenoids within the bank. So you can see the main feed is coming in the side, compressed air is in here, and the control panel then is feeding each one of these. So each one of these is a diffuser is connected, and these are running between 10 and 15 minutes. So basically the control panel controls that cycle so that we get a homogeneous mix inside. So one diffuser works for 15 minutes and it stops, and the next one works and it stops, and the next one works, etc, etc. That's basically how the system works. You can see everything's galvanized, everything's nicely set up. The Storth Machinery will come to your site and do a full install, so you can see, try to make a nice tidy job, something that's going to last. So we're inside the tank now, and as you can see the pipes have been nicely routed over the top, and there's a form of protection at the top just to ensure there's no long-term damage and things last. Follow that down. Before I sort of look at where the pipes are, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the tank. So this is a 105/16 tank, so it's 105 foot by 16 foot, and it's around about 800,000 gallons. So it's a reasonably big tank, and it's quite typical of the sort of tanks that we're selling at the moment. As I said, there's 24 diffusers in this situation, and basically when our guys arrive on site, they'll be provided with a map that tells you where each of those diffusers are to be situated. As a rule, and in this instance, the diffusers will work, let's say, at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock at one given time, 10 to 15 minutes, and then 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 10 to 15 minutes, and 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, for 10 to 15 minutes, and that sequence will continue around until we've gone right the way around the tank, and they'll be repeated generally twice a day just to keep the slurry moving and liquid. Okay, so we're looking with these diffusers in non-separated, so normal slurry, working potentially at a diameter of 5 meters, and in separated slurry they would work at 7.5 meters. Obviously with separated slurry without the solids in, it's easier for the bubbles to move throughout the liquid. So As you see, the pipes are sat on the ground, they won't float, but they're not fixed. Most of our competitors are using fixed pipes. The benefit of non-fixed is obviously we can pull out if we ever need to do any service work, and potentially we could tie string to the other end of the diffuser. The diffuser is 1.5 meters long, and we could use two guys at either side of the tank to then put this into a tank that contains the slurry from the start. So there is a bit of an advantage there. So the diffuser has a one-way valve in that, so there's no chance of any slurry going back up the line and damaging the compressor. You're looking at an operating pressure around and about 10 bar on the system. Where our system differs to many of the competitions is we use a small bubble. So typically our bubbles will be around about a fifth or the size of a big bubble system. The benefit really of a small bubble system is rather than it rising to the top and popping and losing ammonia, what it'll do is it'll gradually go to the top in more of a V format, so it'll become more movable within the slurry. Once it gets to the top, it simmers, so there is no pop at the top. Now if an aeration system is used from the start and used properly, there shouldn't be a crust at any point, so that disturbance should keep things moving nicely. The other benefit really of the system is because you've got much smaller bubbles, the aeration of the slurry creates an aerobic environment, and within that helps to condition the slurry. What do I mean by conditioning the slurry? In a normal circumstance with a mechanical mixer, it's very rare that you would mix a slurry. So the slurry sits in a non-aerobic environment. And as soon as you start your mechanical mixers, you get the release and the smell goes and you're losing ammonia. If we can hold the slurry in an aerobic situation, which is what the Aerobac does, so we're introducing air into the system, it will trap the ammonium, and what will happen is it'll actually reduce the pH of the slurry and become more acidic. It'll trap the ammonium and it will increase the levels of nitrogen. So basically, if we can maintain air within the slurry in that aerobic environment, we're increasing the levels of nitrogen, so you're getting more value from the slurry. It is applicable in non-separated slurry, and it is really amplified in terms of separated slurry. If you want to know more about the Aerobac system, we have information with regards to what we did at Keele University. So with regards to conditioning, that should give you some more background. And we also have the leaflet. Give one of our sales reps a shout, contact us at the office, we're here to help. Thank you very much for your time.